Hey, what's up? This is Hunter with Tortoise and Hare Software, and today we're going to be talking about SEO, the big picture, and why you should invest. And I wanted to make this video because I think a lot of SEO content gets mired down in the tactical stuff of, creating this content and researching these keywords and doing these optimizations and stuff like that. And maybe that kind of gets the big picture gets lost in the focus on the details. So in this video we'll talk a little bit more at a high level about SEO and why you should invest in it. A lot of business owners want to stray away from SEO for a couple of reasons. One, it's hard, and it's competitive, and it takes a long time, and it's expensive, and hiring somebody to do it for you that can do a good job is even harder, and there's a lot of ways you can waste a lot of money and get nothing out of it. But that shouldn't deter you from SEO, and the longer that you put it off, the more you're limiting your business's growth, because SEO is really like the foundations that a lot of other marketing channels play off of, and kind of failing to ignore it or failing to invest in it is going to kind of cost you a fortune in the long run, by investing in other channels without SEO's support. And we can talk a little bit more about some of the reasons, why on that. So, SEO is going to be the heavy lifter traffic-wise for your marketing efforts online by a pretty healthy margin. And I have a couple of graphics from this blog post I wrote, kind of showing traffic sources of technology businesses, like mature technology businesses. Looking at companies like HubSpot and PandaDoc, and some of the larger businesses that have used SEO as a channel, or just really it's not even an SEO focused research. It's just like where are these tech companies generating their traffic from. And you can see kind of by size of website, here in this graphic. We got 10,000 and 99,000 monthly visitors, 100,000 and 999,000 visitors, and a million plus visitors. At the lower end of the scale of this 10,000 and 999,000 monthly visitors, SEO is at its highest level of contribution. And if we look at these graphs, they all have the same roughly allocations between channels, with direct visits being the highest contributor. Direct visits are going to be a lot of things, a lot of bots, a lot of just scans, things like that. So good chunk of direct traffic is just bots. So you don't want to you can't really invest in direct traffic. The other thing direct traffic mostly comprises of is customers, existing customers. So in that sense, direct traffic is a little bit lower value. The other main component of direct traffic is just your overall brand strength, like your word of mouth, which is something that is just a reflection of how you're doing well overall. Your reputation, and is a lot of times a reflection of the size of your customer base, because the larger your customer base is, the more word of mouth you're going to have. So that's also something that's hard to invest in specifically as a channel. And then the other main component of direct traffic is, research shows it's oftentimes misattributed organic traffic. So you can maybe add 5 to 10% of these direct visit numbers are actually probably organic visits, or just an allocation of the other channels on this graph overall. So if you kind of exclude direct traffic because it's not really a reliable traffic channel and is really just more of a reflection of how visible and successful your company already is, it's really not something you can like rely on. So if you exclude that and look and see that this yellow part of the bar, which is organic search, is like clearly the main driver of traffic. It's not a stretch to say that organic traffic comprises 50% or more of like the true like traffic generation of these companies. I also want to point out that like referral is the second most largest bar on the chart overall, and referral traffic is almost always like people doing backlinks to your website, which is usually when you've created like successful pieces of blog content or guides or in other influential pieces of content that are really an extension of organic search. So these backlinks are things that are pointing to your website, so it's your business in business directories, or has gotten media coverage and things like that, and is linking back to your site. Looking at this traffic, organic search is a huge contributor and is even more important at the smaller levels. A lot of the companies that I'm working with have less than 10,000 visits per month, so like there's not even the segment of the graph that's the even smaller companies, but those are probably going to have an even more important and less referral traffic than where organic search is in their growth journey. You can also see that social media is typically under 5% or less of traffic, and the other channels just continue to get smaller and smaller contributors. If you looked at a smaller website, you'd probably see paid search or display ads being a much higher contributor, and then referral being a much lower contributor, but organic search is still going to be like the main traffic driver and the most critical channel overall. This was a SaaS specific sort of research post, but this is one that looks at traffic source distributions overall, and you can see once again that direct is usually like the main driver, but again is a very unreliable like traffic channel and isn't something that you can like build directly. It's mostly bots, existing customers coming directly to your website, word of mouth, and misattributed organic traffic. Once again, organic search is the biggest driver of traffic, and then referrals kind of the second leading traffic driver, and is even less important than it is in SaaS across like other industries. So this is probably somewhere between this graphic and this graphic is where like an MSP or an IT company might be, since this one's going to be a lot of e-commerce and things like that are going to go into these numbers. But hopefully I've illustrated the point for you that organic search is the heaviest traffic driver and main like traffic heavy lifter for a website, and is even more important the smaller your company is, but becomes less important but still the number one driver as your company gets bigger. This has a number of functions when you have that contributing to and driving your traffic. That is going to be the main way that you're going to fill retargeting audiences, so you can show people repeated ads. That's going to be the main way that you fill your email marketing list, is by getting email opt-ins from people on your SEO content when they either subscribe in your footer in a more passive way, or do like a content download via a lead magnet where they exchange an email address for a piece of content. All of this is going to help you significantly lower your cost per lead relative to channels like paid advertising or going to trade shows and things like that. Organic search is unreliable and is more of a passive channel, but once you hit a certain critical mass, it's there's a certain level of reliability that comes with the critical mass, and then it kind of will go up and down from there. But helps you lower your cost per lead, which is something that is a tough challenge when you want to like hit more hockey stick type growth or like longer term growth, is like you need sustainable lower cost leads. It's also going to make your business more resilient. When there's a downturn and you have to cut your marketing budget, you got to cut your paid advertising spend, or you hit a rough spot cash flow wise and you can't make some of those more short-term investments or paid visibility investments, SEO will still be there and provide you that foundation of traffic and lead volume, which is key, and really can help you survive recessions and survive other shocks to your business. It's also kind of like a good way to think about SEO is that it's a 401k for your business. It's something that you shouldn't necessarily go all in on and rely on as like the only channel for your business, but it's kind of like a 401k. You keep making those content deposits over a longer time horizon, and that investment will pay off over the long term. And I like to kind of think of SEO as like, SEO is how you build a business versus generate leads. Like if you just want to generate leads and you're just desperate for growth because you've hit a downturn and you got to like draw down your funds or things like that, then paid advertising or cold calling or something like that is probably going to be a better way to like generate leads fast. But that's going to be just like hard or expensive or like tough to sustain, and there's going to be a lot of reasons that you want to get that like low cost, long-term sustainable growth, and that is what SEO does, and that's really what helps you like build a like technology business in a lot of ways, because some of these other channels are like harder to scale, like as the your business gets bigger and bigger, the cost to have like an SDR team almost gets like more expensive, like the bigger your SDR team gets. The paid advertising, you'll exhaust the inventory of available like impressions on certain channels and things like that, so you can't necessarily get like more visibility on like LinkedIn, or more visibility on like the paid search terms on Google that you might want or something like that. So you have to start expanding further and further out onto less familiar channels or things that are have less relevance to your customer base, and that just makes things more expensive. Where in a lot of times, like in a lot of ways, like SEO's like available inventory is much higher and is in a lot of cases kind of like effectively unlimited for a lot of businesses. So like I said, SEO is really how you more like build a business versus like generate leads. So you can put off investing in SEO for a long time, because it is expensive, it is hard, it is a long-term thing, but it's something that at some point when your business is in a healthy position, or when you just have the time on the weekends and you want to do something for your business but you don't know what, pour yourself a glass of whiskey and write a blog post or something like that. Make those deposits over time, those long-term drips of pieces of content that will generate organic search traffic, and if you get to the point where you can hire somebody to help, Tortoise and Hare would be happy to help you out with that. That's one of our specialties, but hiring somebody to do it right is something that will help you again build that long-term foundation and ability to generate that sustainable low-cost growth. So that's really why you should invest in SEO. And hopefully that did a good job explaining that. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, follow, and if you need some help with SEO and execution, reach out to Tortoise and Hare Software today. My name is Hunter Nelson, and thanks for watching.